and excitement, we're going to go to menti.com. So please take out your phones, type in this address, and you'll be directed to type in this code and then answer the question regarding a superpower that you would like. And we really encourage creative and wacky answers because those are the most fun to read. So take a couple moments, do that, and then we'll be able to see what some people come up with. Ethan's ready.
I've got my piece de resistance. You can figure out which superpower is
Yes, this has been the game.
This is the one that I truly want.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what you guys came up with. Okay, so we still got some teleportation.
Freezing time.
Freezing time. Invisibility. Nice. Read everyone's mind within a 1 mile radius. Oh, that's pretty specific. I think that's good though. Like you don't want to have all of everyone's mind in your brain.
Control.
If I had a superpower, it would be teleportation because I can travel efficiently and not waste time. Oh, that might come in handy, like walking across campus. Yeah. Yeah, everyone's like, well, ooh, talk to animals. This is one I haven't seen before.
Infinite memory, that's a good one.
Ooh.
Or maybe a math, right?
Nice. Super speed. You turn anything. That's really cool. Ooh, water breathing. That's interesting. Be able to tell if they like pineapple on pizza or not. These are the questions we really should be asking. Am I right? This is awesome. Laser vision. I love this. This is a really creative crowd. I like it. Okay, so we got a lot of awesome ideas on the board. Well, you guys might be thinking, wait a second, is this session on how we get to acquire our superpower? Because if so, this would be amazing. And I'm here to tell you that it is, but it is not at the same time. Today, we're going to be talking about national fellowships, which is basically kind of like the same thing. It's as cool as a superpower. So we got that going for us. So today we're going to introduce ourselves, share a little bit about what we do, and then we'll get into what the session is actually about. Miss Novella.
Hello, I'm Novella Basket, and I've been a part of the National Fellowship team for a good while now. I'm excited you're here to consider these national awards, and we are here to help you engage in the process. So look forward to you and supporting you along this path.
I'm Jen Beth, I'm Director of National Fellowships, and we are very excited to see you all here in person and be talking about fellowships, and we look forward to getting to know you more.
Taylor Magnett. I am a National Fellowships Advisor who works mainly with first-time on-student appointments, which is you guys. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. And I'm also an academic advisor with the Honors College.
My name is Ethan Knight. I am the National Fellowships Coordinator for STEM competitions, so science, technology, engineering, and math. But my background is in English, so I can help you guys with all the writing. So I'm glad to meet you all.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. My name is Kendall Cartali. I'm also a National Fellowships Coordinator, and I specifically have a focus on first and second years. So I'm really excited to meet all of you and work with you more specifically.
And I'm Matt Huffinstein, the last of the National Fellowship Coordinators. My specialization is graduate students, so that might seem a long ways away, but your future selves may be wanting to meet with me at some point, depending on what you do in light of some of the opportunities we're going to talk about later today.
Awesome. And Ms. Carter.
Oh, I'm Kara Brown. I'm the administrative assistant. So when you get off the elevator on the third floor, business floor, there is my office, and I can direct you to these lovely people. And you may be getting emails from me if you're competing and whatnot. That's me.
Thank you. All right. So today, the main focus is everyone getting to know what is a National Fellowship and how our office can help. And today you will also understand that the process of applying for a National Fellowship is beneficial within itself, whether you win or not. And then finally, we'll be talking about the skills and qualities that you can cultivate as freshmen right now that will be really helpful to create a strong fellowship applicant in the future. You guys are already making the first step possible by being here today. So good job. All right, so now that you know what the session is going to be about, I'm really curious, based on the term National Fellowship, what comes to mind? So what I would like you guys to do is take out your magical phone devices again and go to menti.com, but instead type in this code and you'll be prompted to a question about words, associations, feelings around the term National Fellowships. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever you think. So think of as many things as possible, and then we'll be able to see what we all come up with. I learned in the previous session that you can also do emojis, which is pretty cool. Okay, so you guys can keep populating, but you'll start to see the bigger words are the ones that most students have come up with. So what I see is competitive and competition, money, that seems a big one across the board, opportunity. This is something that I've also seen in the previous sessions as well. Oh, and I like the facial feeling emojis. These are good. Okay, scholarship, engagement, no crippling debt, cutthroat, honorable, mature, elite, cool, achievement, recognition, selective. These are all awesome words, and it's really cool to see what you guys think about this term as we continue to explore this together today. Engagement, hard work. Okay, thank you guys so much for just brainstorming together as we think about this term. Now that you guys have been able to input what you think, we're going to share with you today what actually a National Fellowship is and go through some of these helpful things and maybe debunking some of the myths that we bring to this term, National Fellowships. So, what is a National Fellowship? Well, it's a very good question. A National Fellowship is a merit-based award given to you as well as other students across the US from different national organizations. And it's really awesome because it's for undergraduate and graduate students, as well as students who leave the university. So it's for students across all disciplines and interests. And then finally, it's something that you can apply for throughout your academic career. It can be over the summer and for graduate school, and again, after you leave university itself. So the really nice thing about National Fellowships is that I think a lot of people come into it thinking three things. One, it's for studying abroad. Two, it's for research. Or three, it's for STEM. That's true, but there's also a larger world within National Fellowships. So it really is for students across all disciplines and interests. So really, I want you guys to see this as something for you and something for you to explore and see if it fits within your own goals and your own academic career. Okay, so you might be thinking, yeah, this sounds interesting. I think I would like this, but I'm a freshman. What can I do now? Well, I think this is my superpower, being able to read your mind, because I have the answers for you. So we can start by cultivating essential qualities and skills now. And you guys, as I said earlier, have really done the first step by being here, by being curious and taking that initiative. So really be curious, keep track of what you're interested in, both in your classes as well as outside of your classes. What do you care about? What do you like? What do you dislike? What do you have questions about? These are things to keep in mind as you go throughout your classes and just throughout life in general. Another quality that is really important to build is connection. And this is where you can build relationships with professors who inspire you. You can meet with our research office and thinking about what research opportunities make you excited, as well as get involved in extracurriculars. All of these things are really helpful that create a strong fellowship applicant, but also it helps you engage in university life and just enjoy your college experience more. We have two more qualities that you guys can really start to focus on now, and that's taking initiative. So going to our info database, searching for different fellowships, seeing what you are interested in and how it can connect to your own academic goals and interests. Now, you might be like, oh my gosh, I have no idea what an info database is. What is this? Don't worry, we will go through that later today in our session. So we'll give you all the tools that you need in order to be connected and understand the process well. Finally, another skill and quality we can cultivate now as freshmen is resilience. So don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, try new things, even things you might think you might like or not like. These are all important experiences to have and can build you as a stronger person. So don't give up when things are hard, because this builds resilience and it can help you navigate different parts of your life. So now that we've had some experience with different qualities that can be helpful, let's hear from some of our peer mentors as they share some of their experiences with national fellowships and the whole process of itself. You want to introduce yourself? And
Sure. Hey guys, my name is Joy Bernal. I was awarded the Benjamin Gilman Scholarship as well as the Fund for Education Abroad Scholarship. 2 years ago, I sat in your same spot and I thought to myself, wow, there's so many amazing opportunities for everyone else, excluding myself. I thought I was just lucky enough to be in the room. I was lucky enough to just be at a university. That I forgot that I worked to get here. You know, you all work to get where you are today. And so you all have what it takes, if you want to put the work into a national fellowship and do what you want to do. So I pushed away that people call imposter syndrome, where you feel like you are just here by chance and everyone else is qualified and you just happen to be here, which is not true. You know, you're here for a reason. And I got a lot of support and encouragement from the fellowship office. And so I applied. I ended up getting both the scholarships that I applied for, and it has been the best decision I ever made. Just that initiative and that resilience, where I decided I wasn't going to just walk away from it. I was going to try and put some effort into it. The application process was trying. It was a lot. It was a lot mentally, emotionally. There were some parts where I was like, why am I doing this? Like, what is the point of this? But that is the exact point of the application process. I got to basically clarify and figure out, okay, what do I want with my life? What am I going to do? This is what I don't like. This is what I do like. It gave me a lot of direction about what I really wanted out of life. And so even if I had not won these scholarships, the entire application process, I learned so much about my goals, who I wanted to be, who I was right at that moment, you know, all these things, my weaknesses, my strengths. It was such a growing process, the entire experience. I learned so much about myself and how I interact with the world. So even if I had not won, I do not regret applying at all. It's such an amazing experience. You know, when you are working on a math problem for like 4 hours, and you're like, okay, like I'm not doing this anymore. And then you finally get it, like someone shows you a certain way to do it, and you're like, oh my gosh, I understand like that feeling. I don't know if anyone else gets that feeling, but I get that feeling a lot. And I was like, wow, like okay, like I submitted my application. I'm like, I feel better. Like I feel like a better person. I feel like I understand myself more. It's just such a fulfilling process, which doesn't make sense because you're just applying for something, but it's such a eye-opening experience in itself. But the scholarships aren't good for more and after. I ended up studying in Spain in the spring, this past spring. I had a great time. That was another eye-opening experience, and I grew off of what I learned from my application process. You know, I learned, okay, this is what I don't like, this is what I do like, and I used that to navigate a new culture, new people, new situations. So it builds off, and it's something that's valuable for the rest of your life. So.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's so helpful to hear from students who have experienced this whole process. So I really hope that you guys were able to take something away from that. So after hearing these stories, you might be thinking, well, okay, I'm mostly convinced, this is awesome, but it still seems super competitive. I don't know if it's even worth it for me. Can I do this? And I want to say and share with you guys that the answer is yes. And I'd love to hear from another fellowship peer mentor, Michael. He's going to share a little bit about his experience and his process.
Yes, my name is Michael Gallagher. I am a senior studying mechanical engineering and minoring in nuclear engineering in Greenville, South Carolina. And when I was in one of these meetings like 3 years ago, I was like, okay, I have all these engineering and like STEM kind of fellowships that I need to start researching right now. And I looked into them. Over the few years, I did some internships, some research experiences, and I realized I did not want to actually be an engineer. But I was like, well, I'm already this far in the classes are fine. How can I stay in this degree, graduate on time, and be able to pivot into something I really, really want to do? And that to me is what fellowships were all about. It was just like endless open doors for you to kind of discover whatever you wanted to do. You can sort by like things that'll let you study abroad, or like do graduate school or research, or completely different kind of experiences. So I went into my meeting last year and I told them, I wanted to look more into policy, like regulatory kind of sides of things, because I'm really into like renewable energy. So I was guided towards the Truman Scholarship, which was a huge public policy national fellowship where USC has to first nominate you and then send you on to the national competition. So I wrote all these essays, got all my recommenders, like revised them, like so ready for it. And I ended up not getting the nomination from USC to even do the national competition. But the cool thing about it was there were immediately a bunch of other public policy fellowships that the deadlines hadn't passed. And so my advisors were like, hey, you can take these same essays and just like change a few parts of them to be more specific, and you can still apply for more of these things. So I already had one, like I've been forced to think about some of my life plans, right? Like some of these essays were like, where do you see yourself in 5 years or 15 years? Like what graduate school would you want to go to? Like I had to sit and think about all that stuff for the first time. And once I had that, I had like my own personal story to tell to all these application committees. So already having my recommenders, having my essays made it super easy to apply for the Public Policy and International Affairs Fellowship, which I won last year, and let me study at like a junior summer institute at the University of Michigan this summer. And so I learned like that we took stat classes, economics classes, lots of international affairs, like policy kind of simulations. And it was a blast. I mean, one thing I learned was, we got to talk to a ton of alumni about what grad school is really like and about the benefit of getting work experience before you go to grad school. So, I interviewed for some jobs, and I've got a consulting job lined up after I graduate. And the money from this program, like besides going to actual institute, it comes with money to do a master's in public policy. And that's what a lot of these come with, is like money to go to grad school. So, even taking some work experience, that money to get the master's in public policy is still going to be there like forever. Like I can just use it whenever I feel like going back to school and getting that master's. So, the fellowship experience is one of kind of figuring out exactly who you are, what story you want to tell, but also, even if you're worried about, am I qualified? Am I going to get it? My two responses are: one, even if you don't, it's still a super helpful experience. There's still way more to choose from. Secondly, I didn't feel qualified at all for this public policy thing. Like everyone else in my cohort is like a business student or a political science student or like something to do with public policy. And so I just really focused on, the parts of my experiences that I thought would pivot over really well, like things I was passionate about, and I sold my case as to why like an engineering background could be useful in public policy. So that's the kind of things that the advisors will help you with. They'll help you kind of craft your story. And fellowships are an awesome way. I felt like I was like, if I'm studying engineering, I'm only qualified to do engineering. But the fellowships really help you pivot into doing like whatever other things you want to do. And there's hundreds of them. Like there's some that like in a given year no one will apply for because there's so many. And like you guys could be the ones just finding it in the database, bringing it up, writing a couple essays, and winning something amazing. So
Yeah, that's both really helpful to kind of think about as we think about the process and its meaning and how it can help you in all these different spaces. So I hope by this point you're thinking like, wow, this sounds amazing. Like I want to do it, but I would need support. I can't do this alone. Well, I'm really happy that you guys are thinking this because we are here to support you as a National Fellowships office. So we're going to share a little bit about more specifically what our office does, how we can support you through this journey, and what you can do with us. So our main purpose is to engage in reflective conversations with you. Really think about what you're passionate about, what you care about, what your academic goals are, and how national fellowships can fit into your journey. We also advise on specific national fellowships, and this goes throughout the whole process, starting from the application process, the writing, the revising, the interview prep. We're here along the way to really support you and help make you the most successful. We like to connect you with students who have experienced national fellowships as well as faculty advisors. Again, broadening your network. These are all really helpful things. So we can meet with you one-on-one, and we can talk about the things that you want to talk about and also the questions that you have. So please come visit us in Desasor College in the Horseshoe. It's really beautiful and we love visitors. Now, Ethan will be walking through some helpful resources, like how to book an appointment with us, what is the info database, and some other really helpful things.
The burning questions. Again, my name is Ethan Knight, and I am the National Fellowships Coordinator for STEM competitions. So hello, engineers. So I want to share with you guys first our quick start guide. And so you may find this by scanning a QR code, but if you were to use the old-fashioned way, which is to just go to our website, right? And you would, of course, go to the University of South Carolina. And if you just pop in National Fellowships up here, it will bring you to our main page, National Fellowships with Scholar Programs. And if you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see on the right, on the left, National Fellowships. Give that a click. And then Quick Start Guide, again, on the left, and it'll bring you here. And we've got a lot of stuff, a lot of resources for you on this page that are handy. And I want to start by pointing out our workshops call out column. And you'll see Introduction to National Fellowships, Tuesday, August 17th, this stuff. Woo! Right? So here we are. And you guys are our last one today. So, woo, yeah, right? But as you'll see, we've got a whole bunch of programming ready for you guys over the next few months, right? On the 23rd, we have Applying for the Gates. On the 25th, we have Applying for Gilman, Bridging, Freeman, Asia, the Truman, and so on and so on. And so this will continue to cycle and let you know what's coming up. And I'll talk a little bit more about workshops here in just a minute. But as we sort of move forward, I want to point out these 4 numbers here on the Get Started portion of our Quick Start Guide. So the first item, the first resource that I have for you is that info database that you've heard so much about. And here it is, right? And info is our fantastic little acronym for Investigate National Fellowship Opportunities. And so what this is a database of over 200 competitions that you can apply for. And again, I'm sure you guys are going to get very familiar with the Thomas Cooper Library and their databases. But we've got this set up for you to be able to search it just like you would there. You can, of course, search by keyword, just like you would in Google. But you can also use these different areas, right? You can look at your academic areas, business, education, fine arts, STEM, Other areas of interest, right? So things like faith and religion or study abroad, right? Or research. We also have it set up so that you can search based on your year and the year you're looking for funding, right? So we have, I am a freshman, since you guys are all freshmen. And let's say maybe you're looking for sophomore year stuff, and hey, maybe you're interested in something to do in the summer. We hit submit, and boom, we have a bunch of, I mean, and it goes on and on and on and on, right? A good one to take a look at would be the NSF REUs, right? These are research experiences for undergraduates that the National Science Foundation offers for you. And each page on info is going to show you the same set of information, right? There's going to be a website for the fellowship itself. You can get more detailed information. We have a quick overview, right, that tells you what the fellowship actually is. We also have the award value on NSF REUs. There's a couple of different options. So it says that it varies, right? And then we have eligibility requirements for you guys, and we keep this updated, right? So this is for freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. You got to have at least a 3.0. It's going to fund your freshman, sophomore, or junior year, right? Although this is a summer experience, as we already pointed out, so it'll be for the summer. It tells you the academic areas, right, that you can check out. And of course, the competition website one more time. And finally, importantly, the deadline. Oh, that looks crazy. The deadlines, right? We've got those there for you. And then for many of our competitions, we have other fellowships to consider, related ones, right? So you might find that maybe NSF REU wasn't really for you, but hey, you could check out the Rise and think about studying in Germany over the summer, right? Or perhaps, you know, things like the NIH Summer Internship program, right? Work with the National Institute of Health. So we've got a lot of information here for you guys, and it's worth playing around with. Yeah.
So the call on the right-hand side that says USD winners. So that's a great feature for students that you can see students who've gone before you. I'm going to tell you that this is not a great example because we've had a lot of NSF REU winners. We just don't track them in this because there's so many. We don't know all the students, and we don't really know. But I want you to look at this and think no one has ever won an REU because that's not true. But other competitions you will see students listed.
Okay. And so that's info. Let's see if I can get back to our quick start guide. So that's the first thing I wanted to share with you guys. The second thing I want to share with you is related to that call out workshop column up there. And this is our more specific page on workshops, right? Everything we've got coming up in the fall. And this, again, you can search as well. Again, Introduction to National Fellowships. This is us right now. Yay! And you can see, right, we've got a full semester of programming for you guys. And these programs are designed, right, or actually, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me slow it down. I'm from the north. I talk quickly. I'm sorry. So you'll see each entry for our workshops tells you when it is, where it is, and what it's going to be about. And these will link to the info pages as we looked at before. These are all designed to be scheduled out 6 weeks before the deadlines, at least. So you guys will be able to go to a workshop and then apply, right? So we've got those for you. But hey, what if you realize that on Monday, August 23rd at 4 p.m., you're in class, but you really want to apply for Gates and you want to learn more about the Gates Cambridge? Well, you're in luck because last year, as you all know, things were a little different. We did a lot of things online and we recorded all of our workshops from last year. And we're going to continue to do that this year. Hence our camera right now for National Fellowships, right? So you guys can see, right, if you click, sorry, let me go back because I'm getting ahead of myself. On this page, if you click webinars, we've got all the ones from last year, and we'll continue to update, right? So you can learn about CLS, you can learn about Dodd grants for research and study, for about Fulbright, et cetera, et cetera. So these are available to you, and these are just links to YouTube, which is great because you can rewind, right? And pause. And if I'm giving it, you can turn it down because I'm loud. Finally, the third thing I'd like you guys to look at is how to make an appointment. We'll talk about filling out a candidate card, and you will fill out a candidate card in just a little bit. But first, let's talk just a little bit about appointments. So to make an appointment with someone from our office, You'll use Navigate, which you guys may have already used a little bit so far to schedule with your other advisors. Since I can't log in, I'm not a student, I won't. But once you sign in, you want to choose make an appointment, and then you're going to look for involvement and engagement, and then you look for national fellowships. That will get you to the scheduling for national fellowships advisors. So again, it's involvement and engagement and then national fellowships. And you can go ahead and make an appointment. And then, like I said, you guys will fill out a candidate card, but we'll all do that together in just a little bit. So it's the first tab to bring you back, and then this. And now I get to ask you if you have any questions. Go for it.
So I saw some of them for like sophomore years that based off of hours.
So this is a great question. A lot of these competitions, well, actually, Jen, I'll let you answer so well in the last one.
We get this question a lot, or we forget to tell you.
Yeah.
So they're all really based on your attended year of graduation. So it's not based on credit hours. So if this is your first semester on campus and you're graduating in 4 years, you will be a freshman right now, regardless of how many credits. And that's true of almost everyone.
Go for it.
So I know some of you. I was just wondering, like,
So this is a great question, right? She asked about when you should get started. And the easy answer to that is that it's never too early, right? Because we are happy to work with you, even though we've each got our own individual specializations. Kendall's our first and second year person, and Matt's our graduate person. But we're all cross-trained. We're all happy to talk you through really at any stage of the process, right? Even if that is just, here I am, I would like to do something, but I don't know what it is. We want to help you find what would be the best fit. You can also show up with an essay and say, I started writing, help me. And I will say, of course. So yeah, it's never too early, and we're happy to help really at any point.
I asked Michael and Joy, like, so you both mentioned that you came to a session like this. How did that affect or impact when you actually engaged in a national fellowship?
I mean, I will say, like, there are freshmen who like won certain competitions. Like, it's definitely never too early. I think like the summer after freshman year is when I was really like, okay, I should start looking at these. I made a whole list of everything I wanted to apply for over the next 3 years. I didn't end up applying to any of those because my entire career plan changed. So what I would say is like I when I applied for this stuff was like last fall semester. So like beginning of the semester, I was like, okay, I'm going to go in for a meeting. I'm going to find out what there even is. Like, the database is super helpful, but like having an advisor actually talk you through what's available is also like priceless. So yeah, it was just that semester. They told me what was going on, and then I started writing some essays. But like, it's easier, you know, if you have some sort of idea what you'd be looking for the next few years, you can kind of look for certain teachers, like certain kind of activities you want to get involved in. Just however early you feel like it.
I think for me, I think I came to a session same fall semester of freshman year. And I think I kept it in the back of my mind. But I feel like a lot of people view it as another checklist kind of thing, another thing to check off your list. Whereas I viewed it as an opportunity. Although I had to fill out an application, which ended up being helpful, I viewed it as, okay, wow, like this is this like shiny little thing that I can like dive myself into, and it opens so many doors if I allow myself to do that. And so I think I just kept in touch with the fellowship office, and I saw something that's like, okay, this kind of applies to me. Or I had an idea that I kind of want to study abroad. And so I looked at certain groups, competitions. There were a lot. I looked at them. I looked at the info database. And decided, okay, this I am qualified for. And I went to the fellowship office. And there's so much wisdom and advice that they have. It is such a good place to get your resources from, because they have so much to give if you would just allow them to. So that was, I mean, that's where I got my help from. I had no idea what I was doing. And I started pretty much freshman year. That's when I started, because I was like, I really want to do this. This is something I want to do. So and I ended up doing a virtual internship this summer for this cancer organization in Argentina on top of the studying abroad. So it opens so many different doors that you don't expect if you just dive into it.
You apply for a fellowship more than once, or is it just kind of you will do that mistake if you don't get the fellowship?
So it kind of depends on which fellowship. So there are some that have, like, you can only apply as a sophomore. So that's it. Something like the Gilman, though, if you flexible to study abroad plans, you could, or you could apply at the early deadline and not get it, and reapply at the regular deadline and get it. So there's the only hard and fast rules are when there's like it's a certain time only in your undergrad, but there are plenty of competitions where you could keep applying. And that's going to be fancy.
So you said that you had some webinars recorded from last year. Are all of this going to be more or less up to date for this year as well? Like, has anything major changed?
So this is a great question, right, about our recorded webinars. And we do plan to update them continually throughout the year. In general, things tend to stay similar year to year. Sometimes deadlines are adjusted. But yeah, so we won't steer you the wrong way with keeping sort of outdated or not applicable information anymore. They'll be up to date, and we continue to keep that updated throughout the year.
But our in-person workshops are always the best source of information if you can make it.
If you can make it. All right.
Got one more thing.
Oh.
So again, it kind of depends on what you're looking at, but yes, you can apply for, especially study abroad ones.
That's what I did. I did
We're able to shoot on multiple. And so that's certainly fine. Someone in an earlier session asked about applying for multiple different competitions at the same time, and that's also okay. Those are conversations that we would like to have with you, because it is kind of a question of figuring out, like, where is there overlap, and like, if you're really trying to do two non-IA competitions at once, are you a good fit for both of them? And if you are, then that's great, and we'll support you, but you can figure out how to balance the requirements of those. So that's something that we do like to chat with you about, so you know what you're into, but you definitely have to apply for multiple, and especially for study abroad. A lot of those are kind of stackable.
Any other questions? All right, taking us forward. So now we get to learn a little bit about you guys. This is the QR code for the candidate card. So if you guys could please fill this out, a couple of things. There are going to be a few questions on there that are like, what are your main activities? And you might be thinking, I'm a freshman, I just got here, I don't have any activities yet. That's okay, you can leave things blank if you don't have an answer for it. The number one items that you don't want to get wrong are your name and your email. If you can get those on there, we're good. This is another great question, right? Which email should you use, school or personal? The best answer is the one that you're going to check the most, which of course is going to be your South Carolina email, right? Because you're all going to get into the habit of checking that one.
But also, please make sure to put your permanent address, not your university address,
Yes.
because we like to know whether you're in state or out of state.
And while you guys do that, also, when you finish up your candidate card, don't close the page. Hold on to that confirmation page, because that's your ticket out of this room and your ticket to getting one of our two beautiful stickers. So you'll have to choose one of the two. Don't be like the student this morning who said, I like to collect things, and he took two of them. Also, while you do that, right, keep one mint in the box, right? While you guys do that and work on your candidate card, I'm going to set this up, and we're all going to take selfies. It's going to be great. With this brand new selfie
We got our
stick.
selfie stick for the first time today, so we're a little excited.
Right? It just did. So It's like the height of technology. A stick to hold my phone. I know. Just don't go. National Fellowships team. Where is our, like, I'm over here. I don't want it to be just me. So let's start maybe from this side and we'll get students over here. I'm going to try not to be in anybody's way. I'm going to try to get down a little bit. There we go. All right. This side of the room. Oh, wait, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, wait, now we're going to shift this way. Everybody over here. 1, 2, 3. And we'll get one more. There we go. And maybe we'll do one kind of in the middle. We want to do one in the middle. Sorry, Jen. Jen just does not want to take a selfie. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
Our goal is to try to make self-improvement.
I know.
Thumbs up, and then when you're done, you're good to go. We're also here and happy to answer other questions. If you want to ask you, like papers, that's fine. But we really hope that you come to workshops and appointments. I will say for workshops, if there's things you're interested in, stuff like that down the road, you're welcome to come to the workshop and find out more about it. If it's not be something that you would apply for this year, it's very professional. You can take our pyramid first to coffee. Pay for it. They usually like that.
We like coffee.
And we'll also ask you guys to come out of this door, right? Not the door you came in, but the door you'll go out. That's where the stickers are. That's where the cool kids go.
Thank you all for being here.
Whenever you're finished, you're welcome.
Yup. Won't keep you any longer.
You guys survived the escape room. Congratulations.
So I filled this out as
Last year? Okay.
yeah, I'm not
You could
sure.
update it. Did it change?
Not really.
Not really, then it's very nice to put it in time, or you could not.
Yeah. Because most of my parents actually made me come here because my dad's a professor.
Okay.
So you know, he's like.
I like that, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but he thought like because I plan on like yeah. And I did that last year.
Okay. All right, so watch out for the workshops and deadlines, but yes.
Yeah, like I was.
Okay, good.
So I was little, like with the essays and stuff. Yeah, we're like because it's like deadlines or something. I'm not sure.
Also applies, we like to know if the thing applies.
I added the technology on, and she was
There's a college, right?